welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm here for Vlogmas day 10. Today's video I'm going to be doing again start to a new series here on this channel. This seems to be the month of new series that I'm introducing, but this is going to be a what am I currently watching on TV series. Here, besides doing a lot of reading, I've also been doing a lot of watching of TV, catching up on series, finishing series, starting a new series. So this has been a long time coming. I've talked about TV shows I've been watching in the past in vlogs and more videos like this, but not its own dedicated series. So I figured this would be fun to do. So during the course of the series, I will do this every few months or so. I'm going to be talking about what am I currently watching, what am I in the middle of. If I finished anything, I'll be talking about that. What do I plan on watching next? And yeah, any future plans I may have. So without me rambling any further, let's jump right in and get started. I actually haven't finished any TV series in their entirety. I've finished seasons of TV series, but not finished like an entire show this year. So I figured I would dedicate most of this video to the ones I'm currently watching. So let's get started with those. First one of those is going to be Grey's Anatomy. This is a very well-known medical drama. I started watching this last year. I am currently on season 13. I'm about halfway done with season 13. And I got hooked on the show very, very quickly. I kind of grew up watching medical dramas. I watched things like House and ER growing up. So I had always had Grey's Anatomy on the back of my mind to watch. However, I grew up with a lot of friends and family watching the show as well. That this is also very heavy on the romance aspect of it. And that was one thing I figured I would not enjoy. I thought it was going to be very cheesy, that kind of thing with the romance at the center. And that is surprisingly not the case. I was very surprised. I just got hooked on this very quickly. Like I said, I've had friends and family watch this for years. I had a few friends who stopped watching after I think season 11 for, I won't spoil anything, for a variety of different reasons, but now are going back and rewatching the whole series again. And they're right, it really is addicting. Like I said, I'm 13 seasons in. There's 21 seasons I think they're on. I think they're on season 21 right now. And I can see why people love the show. It is addicting, and I'm very interested. I've seen other stuff that Shonda Rhimes has done. I have seen a little bit of Bridgerton, again, because a lot of friends and family were watching that. And I also saw her show Inventing Anna that just came out this year, which was very, very good. Highly recommend that. I only didn't see the whole thing, but I did see part of that. That was very good. And, you know, Grey's Anatomy is Grey's Anatomy. It's very good. I can't recommend it enough if you guys haven't checked it out and are interested in, like, medical dramas. The show that I'm currently in the middle of is actually something I need to return to because I started this rewatch in the end of April. That was my rewatch, of course, of Star Wars The Clone Wars, my favorite TV show of all time. Star Wars The Clone Wars, I have mentioned this in videos before again. I have watched the show growing up. I have watched it in its entirety up to this point. I watched it as it came out weekly on Cartoon Network when I was growing up. And I watched it even when it was on hiatus for a number of years. And then when it came back for season 7 on Disney Plus, I rewatched it to catch up and prepare myself for season 7. So I grew up with the show. I love it in my whole heart. I can't recommend this enough to Star Wars fans out there. If you haven't watched the Clone Wars, please go do. It is, again, very addicting. It takes place between episodes 2 and 3 of the Star Wars saga. And in my personal opinion, it gives you a whole other perspective on Revenge of the Sith, the third movie, which is my favorite movie of all time. And I feel like if you didn't like the prequels and you're a Star Wars fan, totally understandable, number one. This will give you a whole new perspective going into Revenge of the Sith. And it eventually, in the 7th season, this isn't really a spoiler, but in case you haven't watched it, just be forewarned, the 7th season does eventually cross over into Revenge of the Sith, so you can watch them kind of simultaneously, though I would recommend watching the movie first and then going back and watching the second half of season 7 before going any further. And these episodes are like only 20 minutes long, really quick. I was on a long plane ride home from my trip in April to Amsterdam. I watched like half of the first season on the plane ride home between the 6-hour flight I had. So it's very, very easily bingeable. I think I watched 15 episodes in a single plane ride because they're only 20 minutes long. It is so addicting. And I think if you enjoy this and you want a better perspective on the prequels, this will give it to you. I love it with my whole heart. I cannot recommend it enough. Into the shows I plan on watching next. So there's quite a few. I am going to start kind of with what I did with what am I currently watching and with medical dramas. I would like to go back and watch House MD. This is a show I have been watching on and off for a number of years. I, again, grew up with medical dramas all around me. I've always been interested in it. I love House. I have watched almost every single season. I have watched seasons 1 through 7 in its entirety, and I got halfway through season 8 and I stopped. Now, I have been spoiled for the ending, and I'm fine with that. I don't mind being spoiled. I think it better prepares myself for what is to come. But I have forgotten a lot of stuff that has happened, so I am going to go back and finish the show once I am caught up on Grey's Anatomy. That is my goal for 2025, is to finally finish House. Again, I've been probably watching this show on and off for a decade. So this needs to happen. I need to finish this. The show that I really want to start rewatch of is Once Upon a Time. Again, one of my favorite shows of all time. I've mentioned this in several videos before. I love the show. I feel like when I first started my channel, you guys probably heard me talk about is Once Upon a Time. This was at one point my favorite TV show of all time. It is still in my top 3. I named my channel after the show in a multitude of different ways. The show was very influential on my life, and I love it with my whole heart. Familiar with Once Upon a Time, it is if you like Disney movies but want to spin on it, I think you really like this show. It follows our main character, Emma Swan, who is actually, the actress is also in House, as Cameron, Jennifer Morrison. And she is the daughter of Snow White and Prince Charming. And she is brought to the real world as a newborn because the evil queen has cast a spell on the fairy tale world. So basically all fairy tale characters are brought to the real world, but they have no memory of who they are. And Emma grows up. She doesn't know her real parents, nothing like that. She's raised in the foster care system. And then eventually we follow her about 20 years later. Her adopted son, who she gave up for adoption, finds her in Boston and brings her to Storybrooke, Maine, and to bring her home, basically. And that is all I'm going to say. It is so good, guys. I know a lot of fans of Disney who love the show. Some people don't like it, and I can totally understand why. It definitely has its spin on the fairy tale elements. It's not a direct copy and paste of Disney, which personally for me I really enjoyed. There is 7 seasons of it. The first 6 are fantastic. The 7th season's okay. It could have been a lot stronger, but I'm not going to go into spoilers. It's so good. I love the show so much. I can't recommend it enough again, and I would like to go back and rewatch it. The last show I'm going to mention in this video, I think, because again, this is one I've started rewatches of before, like Once Upon a Time, like House, and I've never finished it. Actually, I've never finished the show at all, and that is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I grew up with the show. Again, a show I grew up watching. And I just never got around to finishing the TV show. Now, a few years ago, I did mention that I was in the middle of rewatching it, and I got like halfway through season 3, the final season, and I just stopped because I wasn't emotionally prepared to finish the show that I, again, grew up watching. Again, this is a show I have been spoiled for the ending for. I do know what happens, and I'm fine going into that, but my, childhood nostalgia is like, I don't want it to end. I really don't want it to end. And I need to finish this at some point because I need to have that sense of conclusion in my heart that I have finished the show. It's always there if I ever want to watch it again. I also would love to watch the live action version of this, which I have watched the first episode of and really enjoyed. I'll mention my thoughts on that in a future video. But I love the show so much. Again, these are 3 shows that are just some of my favorites of all time, and I'm dying to rewatch, and I need to finish the show, guys. Like, it needs to happen. That's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different for me, but it's something I figured would be really fun. And if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already for future Vlogmas content and content just like this after Vlogmas. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are currently watching, what you finished this year, anything like that. I would love to know. And as always, all my social media links are linked down below if you guys like to follow me on any of those. With all being said, I hope you guys are on task rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 11. Thanks for watching. Bye.